Cancer. You can feel someone emotionally drifting before they ever admit it out loud. And this week, that intuition becomes impossible to ignore. Mercury and Jupiter moving through Cancer heighten your emotional sensitivity dramatically now. You are absorbing tones, pauses, inconsistencies, and emotional undercurrents faster than people realize. The problem is not your intuition. The problem is how long you've been trying to explain it away. The week opens with emotional heaviness as the Sun squares Saturn. Responsibilities around work, family, caregiving, or emotional support begin weighing on you more intensely. You may feel like everyone expects steadiness from you, while very few people stop to ask what you need in return. That loneliness catches up this week. Lunara sees a deeper pattern here too. You have been emotionally protecting someone from the consequences of their own inconsistency. And slowly, quietly, that has started hurting you more than helping them. Midweek, Mercury trine Saturn helps stabilize your thoughts. A conversation becomes clearer. A misunderstanding untangles. You finally find language for something you've been emotionally carrying for weeks. Once spoken, the emotional pressure decreases almost immediately. You do not need to keep swallowing every truth to preserve peace. Around the middle of the week, your attention may suddenly shift toward yourself again. Your body, your environment, your emotional routines, your future security. Jupiter in your sign wants growth, but growth requires emotional space. And lately, too much of your space has belonged to other people. That realization changes your emotional posture. Venus sextile Jupiter later in the week brings softness back into your heart. Romance improves. Warmth returns. Appreciation becomes visible again. Some of you may receive emotional reassurance exactly when you were about to emotionally detach. Still, Lunara advises caution. Temporary tenderness is not the same thing as emotional reliability. By the weekend, you may quietly choose distance from a draining situation, not out of anger, but out of self-preservation. And honestly, that choice may finally let your nervous system rest.
Cancer. Your tarot card is the Knight of Wands. This week carries movement, urgency, attraction, and emotional momentum. Someone may suddenly pursue you more intensely, or you may feel pulled toward a decision faster than expected. But Aurelia advises caution with impulsive emotional reactions. Fast energy is not always stable energy. The Knight of Wands also asks whether passion has been replacing emotional consistency somewhere in your life. Excitement can feel intoxicating, especially after emotional loneliness. But this week asks you to look deeper than chemistry alone. You deserve both intensity and reliability.
Cancer. You get hexagram 24. Earth over Thunder. Return. Something emotional circles back this week. A feeling, memory, relationship, or part of yourself you thought was gone begins quietly returning into awareness. But this hexagram is not about regression. It is about emotional renewal. Lunara sees deep healing potential here if you allow yourself to stop resisting softness. You have been emotionally guarding yourself so carefully that even comfort has started feeling unfamiliar. Return asks you to trust safe emotional connection again. Not every cycle repeats to hurt you. Some return to heal what was unfinished.
Cancer. Your rune is Jera. Jera is the rune of cycles, harvest, timing, and earned outcomes. Something you have been emotionally cultivating begins showing visible results now, though perhaps not all at once. Progress is happening even if it feels gradual. This rune also reminds you that timing matters deeply. Some emotional situations cannot be rushed without destabilizing them. Calum sees this week rewarding patience, emotional consistency, and realistic expectations. What was planted carefully now begins slowly returning value. Trust the cycle.
This week carried emotional truths that could no longer remain hidden beneath routine or distraction. Some of you softened where you once stayed guarded. Others finally recognized where emotional exhaustion had quietly become normal. But awareness is where healing begins. Be gentle with yourself this week. Your spirit has been carrying more than most people realize. And before you leave, tell me in the comments what part of the forecast resonated with you most this week. Sometimes hearing each other's experiences reminds us we are not navigating these emotions alone. If this reading spoke to your heart, subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell so you stay connected to future guidance here on Lumen Lores. And do not forget to watch your rising sign as well. Often it reveals the emotional layer your sun sign cannot fully explain.